Hey. Okay. Do I remember how to do this? Okay. Okay. Sorry, my audio settings are like not quite right. So if y'all have trouble hearing me or anything, let me know. But I think I got it fixed, hopefully. Okay, let's try that. No data. What does that mean? Okay, so some of my settings are different. You'll notice that my webcam here is different. And right now it's saying no data, and I don't know what that means. That's slightly concerning. I see a few people in the chat, which is nice, at least. You're hearing me just fine. Okay. 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 Audio sounds good? Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. Great, great, great. Oh my God. It's good to see everyone who's here. Um, it does say that my bitrate is low, but hopefully that means data from Star Trek has left my computer. That's exactly right, Jellyfish. That's exactly right. Also, hi, Tune. Thanks for stopping by. Also, Magical, I did see your message that you sent before the stream started about if Tamara or I will talk about the HBO Max Purge in a video or a live stream. There was like a part of me that wanted to make a video about it just because like when it happened, I was like so upset and I was so emotional. And I was thinking of like coming on and making a video where I would just like talk about it. But I don't know. I guess I kind of cooled off after that. I'm still obviously really upset, but my emotions are not quite as high as they were when it immediately happened. I keep looking over here because my camera is normally over here. Today my camera is over here because I couldn't get my normal setup to work properly, and this is the best I could do. But I should look over here because my camera's here. Anyway, um, I wasn't like I didn't want to make a video when I was like at the height of all my emotions. So I decided to just like cool down a little bit. And now I'm like not sure if I even want to make a video about it or not. But I guess I can talk about it a little bit now because I have obviously a lot of Infinity Train stuff down here. So this is what I'm doing, y'all. This is what I'm doing. Also, hi Rooster. It's so good to see you. This is what I'm doing. My chat is not even. My chat looks terrible. Why? Hopefully that's a little better. So I have been kind of like redecorating. If you can kind of see in the back here, like the shelf is a little different, and I moved my plants in a slightly different spot. And I also got a couple new plants. Maybe I'll do a video or a live stream about that one day. But I am So I decided that I wanted to put some stuff up on the wall back there. And one of the things I've been wanting to do actually for a while is um, all of my pins, all of my enamel pins. I've been like collecting enamel pins for a couple of years now. Or not just a couple of years, for many years now. A lot of these are from like 2017, 2018. Because I actually, fun fact about me, I used to work at GameStop, and while I was at GameStop, obviously, I spent more money at GameStop, way more during the time I worked there than any other time in my life. So, um, so I ended up buying a lot of enamel pins while I worked there, and that's where all these Pokemon ones came from. So these I've been collecting for a lot of years. I recently got some new ones too, and I've been wanting to. I used to put them on my backpack, but now I've been thinking I kind of want to like put them up on the wall to like make them look cool. And so I have this Chicken Choice Judy T-shirt that I bought online, but like it's a really bad quality shirt. Like it's a really cheap, not that great shirt. So I never wear it. but I decided let me reuse it in kind of a DIY crafty way. And so I'm gonna like, I have this like cork board thingy, and I'm gonna like put the shirt on the cork board and then like put my enamel pins on the shirt and then have that be on the wall. So that's, yeah, that's kind of the plan. That's the general idea. It might not work. I like just came up with this idea somewhat recently, so it might not work, but we'll see how it goes. That's how they get you. Exactly, exactly. That is how they get you. Anyway, I can briefly talk about HBO Max and stuff though. So I'm planning to do 2 of these boards. So this one, I cut the corners just because I kind of like having rounded corners on these kind of things. I'm gonna move this over. So and I want to make 2 because I have another shirt as well. I have this shirt that I really like the design on, but it's not that the shirt itself doesn't really fit me. So I'm like, let me reuse it. Let me reuse it in this way. So, you know, I'm trying to be somewhat not wasteful. Change my account, formerly Shadowlink. Gotcha. Good to know, Ari. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. I was like genuinely expecting like 0 people to show up because I haven't streamed in so long and I haven't really been active that much. I've been like just thinking in the back of my head, I really want to get back to streaming. I really want to get back, especially on Twitch. I want to do some games. I haven't been playing any video games. I've just been like not in that headspace of playing video games. So hi everyone. Hello Eru. Thanks so much for being here. It really means a lot to me that y'all would come back after all this time of me being away. That's so sweet. How is everyone doing? While you all tell me, oh, you're so sweet. Ugh, you're so sweet, not Amber. If I want to hear how y'all are doing. How have the past couple of months been? Has anyone done anything fun? I hope everyone's doing at least somewhat well. I know like summer has kind of come and gone as well. Miss the streams. Yeah, I miss the discussion streams a lot. We definitely want to do more of them in the future. We want to do... Tom and I have been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. And we really want to do some streams on Buffy because I think that'd be really fun. We also really want to do like Steven Universe and other stuff, and maybe She-Ra. That's like a show that we've been thinking of watching. So like, yeah, lots of potential ideas that we have that we'd like to do. And obviously once Owl House comes back, once the specials come out, I would really love to do some discussion streams on the specials as well, just because like we've been discussing Owl House and, you know, we gotta do the last 3 specials as well. Can't knock that. Yeah, Toon, definitely getting through those phases. Trying to get editing work on your new videos. I feel that. I feel like my chat settings are not great. So sorry if the chat is like not coming up on the screen properly, but hopefully y'all don't mind because I don't really feel like fixing it. Yeah, I've been putting off a lot of video work and stuff too. So I'm editing a video right now that's gonna go on for supporters. It's gonna be like a supporter only Ko-fi and Patreon video. So I'm working on editing that right now, and then I have to finish writing the script for another video. And then I'll probably get Tom to edit that video because I don't want to deal with editing, and he's a great editor, but I might do that. I should do this somewhat on the camera. So I might do that next. That one is going to be for Dead End Paranormal Park, because I watched that show and I have a lot of thoughts about it. To be honest, not all great thoughts, some mixed thoughts, but you know, we'll get into that when we get into that. But yeah, I'm working on a ton of stuff too, so Jellyfish is doing great. Bought a bike today. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I've been low-key thinking about getting a bike too, but I've been spending way too much money lately and I definitely can't afford it right now. But anyway, yeah, the Infinity Train stuff and HBO Max purge is really really frustrating. I was really upset at the time, um, and I'm still really upset. But it's unfortunate, you know. I mean, I still have faith that the show will come back eventually one day. Like I know Owen did another newsletter and talked about how the show's like not being written off completely, which is, you know, good in general. It's a good sign. It's a hopeful sign. So hopefully, you know, we do see it come back eventually one day. I don't know. I don't think it'll be anytime soon still. But yeah, I do have hope that it'll come back one day. And I'm really frustrated with the whole HBO Max purge and how they're treating animation in general. It's really unfair, especially to the artists and the creators on the show who put in so much work into it, and then the handful of people up at the top decided that they're going to save a few pennies by writing these shows off, and that's like just so unfair, and especially without notifying or communicating with the people who work on the shows. It's just like really slimy and gross. And yeah, I have no I really don't know what to say or do about it. You know, this is a much bigger problem than just like streaming and HBO Max. This is like a capitalism problem. But yeah, hopefully these things do also kind of come in waves. Like the pendulum swings from side to side. So I think like people will eventually realize that the shows can't be written off like this. They can't treat artists like this. Like no artist is going to want to work with them after they keep treating artists like this. So hopefully it swings back in the other direction. Hopefully there's some change going on inside the company as well. I know a lot of like the employees that work for the company were also like really upset about what was going on. So yeah, I mean, it sucks that it's happening, but we can only really hope that it changes somewhat in the future. Uh, Rooster says things have been rough, but you've got your GF now. Well, that's good. I'm glad that things are getting better at least. I'm sorry to hear things have been rough. Things were a little rough with me too for a while, especially during the summer. I don't know. But now things are kind of looking up, and well, it's a mixed bag, honestly. Life's been a mixed bag, to be completely honest, um but that's kind of what life is, you know. There's good and bad. Ooh, Tune, you're commissioning Tom for some avatars. That's awesome. Yeah, he's a really awesome artist, and he's definitely doing commissions and looking for work and stuff right now. And I'm actually having him do some commissions for me, like literally just for fun, because, like I said, we've been watching Buffy, and that's my favorite show. And so there's like a couple of Buffy fan arts that I've been wanting him to do because there's just not enough Buffy fan art out there. There needs to be more, and it's a travesty that there's not more. So I'm having him draw me some, basically. But he's a great artist. If anyone ever needs commissions, you should commission him. Never see the current seasons. The current seasons of what, Eru? What are you not seeing the current seasons of? Yeah, yeah, definitely too. Not as grim as you initially thought. I feel that. Ari, you've been in job search hell. I feel that struggle. Um, I have been like kind of applying to jobs as well. Oh my gosh, I feel like everything you guys are doing, I'm also doing, which just goes to show you how much stuff I'm doing. But yeah, I'm also applying to jobs right now. There's like one job that I'm like really crossing my fingers about right now. I hope your job search is gonna come to an end soon. I know how tough it can be when you're in that like long stretch of just like applying to stuff and like nothing is coming back, and it's really really rough, but eventually things will come and fall into place, and I have total faith in you. So I'm wishing you the best. Magical. I have hope that Infinity Train will come back someday as well. Also, hopefully, animation will be treated better. Yeah, that's what I hope so as well. And like I said, these things kind of come in pendulums. So hopefully, now it's just like a downswing, and that upswing comes up in the near future. It took you 10 months to get a job after graduating, Tune. That is remarkably fast, actually. After I graduated, I worked in retail jobs for a couple years, and it wasn't until like a few years later that I eventually got my first like actual job. And even then, I like first started as an intern, and then I like worked my way up to my current job. So yeah, it takes time, and of course work, but you will get there. I believe in you. Okay, so I have this like corkboard thing cut out, and I'm trying to figure out how exactly I want to put the cloth over it, because I want it to be like folded back, but I want it also to be like somewhat easily accessible to be able to like put pins and stuff on it. So I'm trying to think, and I also have some of these I have some of these safety pins too, so hopefully I can figure out a way to kind of like wrap the cloth around while having the design kind of be in the middle. But let's see, maybe I can kind of fold this side and like just have three sides be open, because if I fold back too much of the fabric, then it's gonna like bulge out. So I have to kind of like cut around, kind of. So maybe kind of like around here, and then like cut the side here, and then like down here. Okay, let's just do the top and this side first. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I don't really have a frame yet, magical. Um, but that was like my idea. I was like, oh, maybe then I could like put a frame on it, and that way it could also kind of like, if the edges look like ugly or something, then then maybe that will make it a little better. Ugh, okay, maybe I cut it like this for now, and then if I need to trim it later, that's fine. Ugh, yeah, so let me think. What have I been doing? So I've been kind of up and down. There was like a while where I was not doing so great, and like my mental health was kind of low, and I was like really struggling to just kind of do anything. And I was just feeling like really bad, and uh, that's why I was like, there was a period of time where like I wasn't that active on any social media, and even now, like I feel like I've kind of taken a step back. Like I feel like um, there are some parts of social media that just don't bring me joy anymore. So I've kind of like taken a step back on some parts of it, and I really do want to try to be more active, at very least in the Discord server. I'm just like really bad at being consistent with stuff. Um, but I would like to try to be more active in the Discord server because you all are awesome. And I would like to do more streams and stuff as well, because streams are obviously a lot more like low key and easier to do than full on complete videos, right? And so I would much rather sometimes just do an impromptu stream than like never hear from you guys in a very long time. So but after kind of dealing with some mental health stuff, I did get better. So I'm doing a lot better now in terms of mental health, but there's also just like still so much stuff going on that it's been hard to really focus on like one specific thing, if that makes sense. As you can see, I've been like redecorating and doing all that stuff, and that has been kind of like my project for the last couple weeks. then maybe we'll cut the bottom too. Just to trim it a little bit. Yeah, definitely, definitely. If there are some days, Magical, where you feel tired and just need to rest, you just got to do that, you know? Like your body will tell you what it needs. And there's like that saying or that understanding where it's like if you don't schedule a break for yourself, then your body will just schedule it for you, and it probably will not be at the most convenient time. So it's probably better to just make sure you're taking care of yourself and make sure you're taking breaks and getting the appropriate rest that you need. So yeah, I took some time to really just like focus on my mental health for a while and deal with some stuff internally. And then I have been like working on stuff, but the thing with me and working on stuff is like a lot of it unfortunately does sort of like happen in my head. And I like take notes. I take like a lot of notes. Like if you look at my phone and my notes app, and I have another app on my phone called Otter. And Otter is a really great app because it's like a voice memo app, but it also like transcribes your voice and like what you say. So I have been using that, and it's been such a godsend, honestly, because like I talk a lot faster than I type. So sometimes when my like mind is racing at like 100 miles an hour and I just like need to get my thoughts out, I use this like voice memo transcriber app, and I just like talk, and like I'll talk for like 15 minutes straight and just like record all my thoughts. So that's been really helpful. So when I say like I've been working on videos and stuff like that, it's mostly just been like thoughts and taking notes and just trying to like get the stuff out of my head and like somewhere where I can like look at it. That way I can like actually make it into a video script and things like that. So I definitely have been working on stuff, but not really like sitting down and like focusing and like writing a script and um, like sitting down to record. I like haven't had that kind of focus quite at the time, so it's been a little all over the place. I always feel bad when I've thrown away most of my day just stressing over stuff. Yeah, I always feel bad too, like when I end up like wasting time that I feel was out of my control. Like I actually don't mind wasting time when it's like on my terms. Like if I tell myself like, okay, I am done for the day, and for the next evening 3 hours I'm just gonna like sit around and watch YouTube videos. Like if I do that intentionally, then like I'm usually okay with that because I am okay with myself like taking a break every now and then. But I whenever I like waste time because like something out of my control like led me to take longer than I planned or something like that, I can get really anxious, and that kind of throws me off. So, yeah, I know that feeling about like feeling bad and stuff, but sometimes you just got to like cut yourself some slack. Which is of course easier said than done. But yeah, that's really unfortunately the solution to things. Yeah, thanks so much for stopping by, Eru. Have fun playing D&D. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Morgan, if you can't catch a break, you'll end up taking one. Something along those lines like that. But yeah, it's really important to take breaks and take care of yourselves. I say that as I struggle to do the same. But it's always easier said than done, right? Am I right, folks? Okay, so I have the shirt kind of cut and cut up on here. So I think if I just like end up folding it like this, and then like the side like this, and it is bulging a little bit, so maybe I'll trim it like a little bit more at the end. But this is kind of the general idea. And then once I get the pins on it, I will like safety pin the cloth kind of around it. That's kind of the general idea. But now I gotta decide which pins I want to do, because I have like two of these boards, right? And I have one shirt that's like white, and I have one shirt that's like black. So that's kind of like the theme I'm going for. I've been like redecorating, right? And I've been really into like black and white, and like that, the way that kind of like looks. So like let me show you really quick. Like I have this it's upside down because my webcam is upside down, but I have like this pegboard on the side of my desk that's like kind of black and white. And I've also been, I have like these like chalkboards that are like black and white as well. I don't know, I've just been like kind of into that lately. um so yeah, I have the black and white shirts as well. That was just kind of coincidence though, like that this shirt that I wanted to reuse just happened to be white and the other one happened to be black, so that was just like a nice coincidence. But yeah, I have to decide which pins I want to get on which shirt. I want like probably most of the Infinity Train ones to go on this shirt, just because this is like Infinity Train, and I have a lot of Infinity Train pins because I bought a lot. There's this one artist on Etsy who did a lot of like these pins. There's Min, Kez, Jesse. This door pin I think was made by one of the crew members of the show. I think I forget their Etsy store, but yeah, sorry, I don't know. I don't remember most of where I got these pins, but I got them mostly on like Etsy and people selling them online. You hate that the dead end video is taking long. Yeah, Tune, if it's any consolation, I also really love this pin because it spins and it's the Infinity Train door. It's really cute. If it's any consolation, whenever a video comes out like super soon after a show comes out, or like if someone makes a video right after a new episode comes out and it's like the day after, I always tend to think that those videos are rushed and that there's at least one or two bad takes in every single one of those videos that I've seen. And this is even from creators that I really like. And I feel like it's not really their fault because YouTube rewards speed and quantity rather than quality. So if it's any consolation to you, I tend to prefer videos that take their time and come out a significant amount of time after the show comes out, because in my mind those just tend to be a little bit more well thought out, and I don't know, like they just seem smarter in my opinion. So take your time with it and really don't feel like you're in a rush, because there are people that are waiting to watch it, and those are the people that matter. So yeah, don't feel like you need to rush. That's at least how I approach videos. And clearly, I thought like 0 people were going to show up to the stream. Clearly there are people that care and will show up and will wait for you and will allow you to take your time. So, I'm super grateful for all of you, and I'm glad that y'all are here. I think those are all the Infinity Train ones. I feel like I also had Grace, but I don't know where she is. I don't know where I put her. And I have Jesse here, and I have Lake here too. And then I just like get these random pins. So the Pokemon ones all came from when I worked at GameStop. The Infinity Train ones mostly came online. These ones though, these 2 ones with the black back, I got from the Gallery Nucleus show when I went down in LA, and that's when I met. Did I tell you guys I met Owen Dennis and Maddie Curapel and Lindsay Katai at the Gallery Nucleus show? Did I ever talk about it? Did I ever make a video about it? I never made a video about it. Did I ever talk about it on stream? Yeah, Dead End is also not the hottest topic. But yeah, I definitely agree that it deserves to be talked about. Speaking of what I just said, the other day I came across this really well-made Infinity Train video. Oh, nice. I have not actually seen that. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, did I ever tell you guys about the day I went to the Gallery Nucleus show? That was really fun and really awesome. And I had the most incredible experience too because I first of all I met Leah from Toon Runes, who is just such a sweetheart and so awesome. And we hung out for a little bit and like got lunch together and stuff. And she's just such a wonderful person, and she's awesome. I really loved meeting her. Yeah, and then during the show, I got to ask a couple of questions during the Q&A, which was really fun. And then after the show, this was like really crazy. But after the show, I went to get my stuff signed. I got a couple like prints there, and I got them signed by Maddie and Owen, who of course are the executive producers of the show. And Maddie like looked at me and like looked at my name, and she was like, "Oh wait, I've seen your live streams before." And I was like so shocked and like so taken aback, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much." And she was like telling me, yeah, like it was really good and interesting. And I'm assuming that she was talking about the Infinity Train discussion streams that I did back at the time. Yeah, I felt super lucky. It was really awesome. And Maddie was so cool. She was like, "Oh yeah, I actually saw your streams," and it was like so amazing. And then I met Lindsay afterward too. Lindsay, of course, being one of the writers on the show. Um, let's put some Pokemon ones like in the mix here too. Is kind of what I'm thinking. We'll do this cute substitute one. I also have like a lot of like I have a lot of these like flower and like plant ones too, just because I thought they were really cute and really cool, and obviously I love plants and flowers and things like that. So I have a lot of these kind of things too. This one is also, um, it's like a trans pride flower one too, which is really cute. So we'll have some flowers and pride stuff on here too, and a lot of these are like different random pride stuff that I just collected at random events and random places. And this one is, I don't know if that's going to show up on the camera, but it says, "I'm not sorry about your fragile masculinity." So there you have it. And I also once upon a time used to be like really into the McElroy brothers, so this is like an Adventure Zone one. And I have actually way more McElroy pins than I picked out here. But I'm not really as into them anymore, so I kind of just like put some of them in a box and put them away because I just don't really care for them as much anymore. Not to say that I hate them for any specific reason. They're just not my thing anymore. But I still like some of their like pins and the designs and stuff, so I felt like I had to keep a few of them. I think this pin I got at the Gallery Nucleus show too. This one of Tulip and 1-1. So yeah, that was a really fun day, and I got to meet a bunch of really cool people. And Owen didn't recognize me at the event, but he actually ended up sending me a DM on Twitter like the day after, being like, "Oh hey, I didn't recognize you, but like I also watched some of your streams." And I was just like so taken aback that he would like take the time to DM me on Twitter. That was like really sweet of him. So yeah, I don't think I ever talked about that, but that was really cool. Okay, I want to put this, no, I want to put this, the lilies on this one, and then maybe, this pin, this HH pin is, from a musician that I really like, and I bought this at a show that I saw earlier this year. So that's what that is. I have a couple of those too, like a couple just like musicians. This one's also, I saw her at the same show and got one of her pins, which is like a little whale shark. You're exclusively a Munch Squad fan from at this point, Ari. Yeah, no, I totally feel that. I still occasionally listen to some of their shows, but I have mostly stopped listening to them. And then I have like this PodCon pin back when PodCon was a thing. I actually went to that. So let's see. Maybe I should get the HH one on here. I'm also trying to think like, oh, what would look good like against the white background and like what would look good against the black background. So maybe you know what? I'm gonna put Jesse and Lake on the other shirt. I'm gonna put Tulip on this one though, but we're gonna put Jesse and Lake and Alan Dracula, this Alan Dracula. No, wait. We're going to put this Alan Dracula on this shirt, but we're going to save this Alan Dracula for the other shirt. The reason I think that they would fit the other shirt better is is because not only is it black, and I think that it would look better with the black background, but the design on this shirt is it's a lizard. This one is a lizard with a backwards baseball cap. And this one is a lizard with like a cowboy fedora. Not a cowboy hat. It's a fedora. It's a lizard with a fedora. And the words say smash the demon lizard patriarchy. And that's based off of this is actually merch for a Buffy podcast that I listen to. So the Buffy podcast came up with that catchphrase, smash the demon lizard patriarchy. And so I feel like Jesse and Lake, even though they are Infinity Train and this one is Infinity Train theme, I think that they also imbue that spirit of smashing the demon lizard patriarchy. So I'm going to move them to the other shirt. I think one I'm going to move to the other shirt too, because I think like him on the black background would look cool. Yeah, it's a really cool shirt, right? And I'm so bummed that like it doesn't actually fit me well. So I'm glad that I can at least reuse it in this way. But I think I'm gonna put this Uncle Iroh one on this shirt too, because I got this Uncle Iroh as a gift from a friend of mine, and I feel like it would look good on the white background. That's true too, Magical. Lake did wear a black shirt, and I feel like that's also very true. We can get this one. This one is actually got a sweet story. Oops, that one's got a sweet story too. This one's a Buffy pin. Oh my gosh, I dropped it. This one is a Buffy pin. It says Sunnydale Slayers, and I got this actually as a gift from another Buffy fan that I met. And they just like gave it to me because they were like, I don't use pins. Do you want this one? And I was like, yeah, that would be very sweet. This one's a McElroy one. It's the ... you know. So we'll put that. I think that would be better on the white background. What else? What else would be better on the white background? Maybe I got these hearts. They're like these pixel style pride hearts, but I don't know how well you can really tell from the camera on the screen, but they're really old, and like the white is like almost yellow at this point. Like it's just they're just really old, and they're just like kind of yellowing out. So maybe I do put them on the white one. Maybe the yellowing will look too obvious against the black. What else is going on? So I've actually also been learning how to play guitar recently as well. Some of my friends know that, but I've been kind of keeping it a secret because I'm still really bad at playing. I'm still a total beginner, and I don't really consider myself a good player at all. So I really wanted to just take the time to like develop my skill a little more and get a little better at playing before I really decide to advertise the fact that I am learning how to play. But I am learning how to play guitar, and I'm hoping to kind of work on that skill and maybe do some covers on the channel in the future. I don't really know if that's something anyone that's currently subscribed would be interested in. But I think it could be fun to do some song covers and things like that at some point in the future. I think maybe Incineroar would look good on the white background too. So I'm going to put him somewhere on this shirt. We'll figure out the exact placement in a bit. Right now I'm just sort of dividing these in half. And then let's do we'll do Munchlax. We'll do this Munchlax one on this shirt too. All these Pokemon ones I literally just got from GameStop when I used to work there. Sort of been learning piano. That's so cool. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with guitar too, Morgan. Like I'm like there's a song that I want to learn and then I start to play it and then like I can get like parts of it or like I can get like the bare basics of it and then once it starts to get hard I'm like maybe I'll try a different song. And so I've done that with like a couple songs now at this point and like the hard thing with guitar, and I'm sure it's kind of similar with piano too. You would like to see covers. Okay, that's good to know. At least one person. Um, the thing with guitar too is that like you really need to develop that like finger strength and dexterity, and that can definitely be tricky because, um, I feel like that takes a lot of time and just like work to develop, right? Like it's not something that you can like study. You literally just have to like sit there and practice and put in the effort in order to get better, um, to develop that finger strength, which unfortunately is just the reality of practice and um, you have to be bad first before you can get better, right? That's just like how things work. I played flute for like 12 years, but never got any good. That's funny, Ari. Yeah, and also like there are some things that are just like really difficult. I actually used to play flute too when I was younger. When I was like in middle school and like high school, I used to play. I used to play flute, but only for a few years. Yeah, keeping track of your fingers, I would imagine. Um, I would imagine would be tricky. Okay, let's do that and then maybe that and then maybe this and this one here. I'm trying to think of like a way we can kind of lay them out where it like looks decent. I'm gonna take the flaming Ivan out of this paper too. Robin says, I kind of play the keyboard, but so far I only know how to play two songs. Hey, that's two whole songs. That's really impressive. I would not write that off as only. That's two whole freaking songs. I can learn I can play like a one riff really badly of one song and the verses and the chorus somewhat okay of another song. That's basically as much as I've developed my skill. And also the sun is starting to go down, so I'm going to turn on my lights. Oops. Yeah. Robin also says that you would also like to see some covers. That's exciting. Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind. It's not going to happen for a very, very long time. Sorry, my lights are behind me and my lighting setup is not good. So, like, I'm just going to be dark on the camera. I'm sorry. This is a very impromptu, low effort stream. So, sorry in advance. But at least you can see what I'm doing on my desk. But yeah, maybe one day we'll do some covers. But maybe, like, next year. Not for a while. Yeah, Morgan, it took a long time to collect all these pins, for sure. And I have like two of these like planty pins that I got from an artist online that this artist, I believe they're based in like Brazil or somewhere in South America, and there was like a day where they were like, "Oh, hey, by the way, my shop is like changing and I'm no longer going to be able to ship outside of the country after like this week for a very long time." And so I like went on their store and I bought like a bunch of their stuff, including these pins and like a couple like really pretty prints, because I really love plants and their art is really pretty, and these pins are really nice. So I have two of these, so maybe I put one on this shirt and one on the other shirt. So I think I'm gonna this variegated monstera. These, if you try to get a real one of these plants in real life, they're so freaking expensive. Like if you go to your fancy plant store, you'll find one of these, and like I found a small one that was like only this big, like maybe 6 inches high, for like $600. And I was like, well, do I want to spend $600 on a plant that I will have the chance of killing, or do I want to spend like $15 on this pin that looks really cool that I will not murder? So I decided to do this instead, at least for now. Maybe one day I'll get the fancy plant, but not for a very long time. So yeah, we'll put one of these on this shirt, and I think we'll put it like under Ryan and Min, I think. Yeah, they're really, really pretty. I am a big fan of the artist. I think their shop or their name is like Doki Rosie, but I don't remember if that's also what their Twitter username is. But they make very cool art. Okay, I'm missing some backs on some of these. I think like this one I'm missing a back. I put all my extra pins in this box. Oh, so maybe I can pull some extra backs. Here's a couple. There's a Pokemon one. Okay, I think the rest of them have backs. I also, if I do ever put pins on my like backpack or whatever again, or like on anything that I'm like taking outside of my home and have a chance of like losing them, then I think I will buy some of those like locking pin backs, you know, the ones that are like have like the mechanism where you actually have to like press on them to unlock them to remove them. So yeah, I think I'll have to buy some of those at some point if I ever decide to take my pins outside. If I ever get the plant, name them Bob. Wait, why? Yeah, that's what I thought too, Magical. I figured, let me get the pin instead. Whenever I lose the back of an earring, I cut up the top of an array. Oh, that's a good trick, actually. I feel like with pins, yeah, I feel like you still run the risk of like losing it, but it's definitely a good idea for like a backup, like quick fix. Okay, I think this is how. Actually, let's switch this. I feel like Tulip right next to Tulip is a bit odd, so let's move Tulip. Gosh, where do we want to move Tulip? Maybe we move Tulip to the other shirt. I don't know where the Grace pin I had went. She's the only one I'm missing. Grace I would have liked to put with Simon. Is it cruel that I'm putting Simon and Tuba on the same shirt? Should I separate them? Because most items are called Bob. Really? Oh, you have a Calamity Trio pin? I have one Owl House pin that actually did leave on my backpack, so I don't have it here. But I don't have any Amphibia pins. I should get some Amphibia pins. I mean, I guess Bob is a great name. I'll have to... Most of my plants right now are named after Buffy characters. So I have kind of a theme. I've actually been thinking about making a video just like about talking about why I name my plants after certain characters. And I have I feel like that video will get like 5 views because I don't know who else would be interested in both Buffy characters and houseplants, and why thematically I have named my houseplants after Buffy characters. I feel like that is literally only a me thing. Only I would ever be interested in that. Put Tuba and Simon next to each other to cause conflict. You know what? I think actually it might make sense to have Tuba and Simon with Steven universe in between them, because I feel like Steven is the ultimate conflict buffer. So if there's anyone who could resolve their differences, it'd be him. Or he might also just kick Simon's ass. In any case, Steven's gonna be there. If the video only has 1 view, you'll be that view. You guys are so sweet. I appreciate you so much. You guys are just really awesome. Let's put the door down here. And let's put Tulip. Yeah, maybe let's also put Tulip on the other shirt. I feel like Min and Ryan have to be on the Chicken Choice Judy shirt. Like, that just... It would not make any sense not to have them there. Okay, I think... maybe... Let's do... Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Trying to figure out like a way that the shapes could all kind of just look appealing. I really do like pins that like are unique shapes. Like, I don't know, like obviously like the round pins are nice every once in a while, but I really love the enamel pins that just like have unique shapes. Yeah, I feel like Steven is just a good buffer to have. The ultimate conflict resolution. Yeah, definitely need Min and Ryan on the Chicken Choice Judy shirt. Guys, Min and Ryan mean so much to me. Like, it actually makes me so sad when I see... Like, obviously, everyone can have their opinions. Everyone can have their own tastes or whatever. But it really does make me sad when people think that book 4 is, like, so much worse than the other books. Because, like, I'll be honest, okay? Like, book 4, in my eyes, is, like, in a technical way, not as good of a season as the other 3. I think, technically, season 3 is the best book of Infinity Train. I feel like I've definitely talked about this on a stream before. So, you know, if you guys have heard this already, like, bear with me. But, yeah, I feel like book 3 is, like, the best constructed book out of the 4 that's out there right now. But, honestly, in complete, total honesty, book 4 is the most important to me. Book 4 is the one that is, like, my personal favorite because the characters resonated so much with me, and I can acknowledge that book 4 has some flaws, like in the pacing. I feel like that's really the biggest gripe I can give it is with the pacing. Like, book 4 had some odd pacing a little bit in the middle, but I still feel like the characters were super well done, and like their arcs were really compelling. And I feel like a lot of the people who didn't like book 4, like, I hate to sound like this person, I hate to sound like the, like, snobby elitist fan, but, like, I really do feel like the people who didn't like book 4 just didn't get it. And I feel like if they really took the time to, like, think about what book 4 was trying to say, like, it took me a long time to figure out, like, what book 4 was trying to say. Like, when I was writing the script for my book 4 video, it was the hardest thing. It took me literally months to write that script because, like, I was struggling with it so much. I was, like, struggling so hard with, like, what I was trying to say and, like, what the book was really trying to mean. And I had, like, all these ideas that, like, didn't quite fit together until, like, a lot of struggle. It took me a lot to kind of figure out how all the pieces fit together. And then once I figured that out, I thought that like the way the book presented those ideas was actually like really brilliantly well done. And I feel like if people really just take the time to sit and analyze what the book is trying to do, people would appreciate it a lot more. And not to say that they should just like watch my video and like learn to appreciate it, but honestly, like my video, I think like really does a good job of explaining like the specifics of like, you know, the metaphorical things, like the metaphorical meanings behind like certain of the some of the wackier things in the show actually have like deeper meanings. And yeah, again, like I don't want to sound like that weird elitist like snobby gatekeepy fan. Like that's the last thing I want. But that's, my cat is freaking out right now. Hey, are you okay? Oh my gosh. Okay, she's stuck. Hold on. I'm coming. I'm coming. Oh, my poor cat. Hey, are you okay? Hey. Sorry, I have to make sure she's okay. Hey, you okay? She's fine. She's fine. She got stuck. She always gets her claws like stuck in stuff. Anyway, what was I saying? I totally lost track of what I was saying. Oh yeah, I was talking about book 4. Yeah, I feel like I don't want to sound like a gatekeepy snobby fan, but I feel like the people who don't like book 4 didn't really get it. And yes, it was definitely a goofy season, especially compared to book 3. But that doesn't mean it was bad. You know, I feel like people put too much weight on sad things being better. And that's just not true a lot of the times. Like, I definitely don't deny that book 3 is amazing and is an emotional gut punch. But there are different emotions that can punch you in the gut. And I feel like book 4 does that really well. Anyway, let me read the chat. Let me read what you guys were saying. People had their expectations a little too high. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true too. I think a lot of people had expectations for book 4. And like, that's the other thing too, is like, you can't expect it to just keep getting darker and darker. Like, that's just not sustainable. Like, it made sense for like a breather season. And I think if book 5 ever ended up coming out, like, it would have been more dramatic again. So yeah, it's unfortunate that like book 4 was the last season, but I think like it made sense to have a more lighthearted season as book 4 anyway. Release of book 4 kind of changed my life. Rewatched it every time I felt sad. Yeah, yeah. And that's so true too. Yeah, absolutely, Morgan. That even bad is still like amazing. Like, I still think book 4 is amazing, even if it's not as strong as the other 3 seasons. I'm really glad that you like the analysis video, Magical. I feel like that's one of my favorite videos that I've done, just because like as I was writing it, I was actually going through a lot of like the struggles of what the book was trying to tell me, right? Like, the book is all about expectations and like the expectations that we have for ourselves and how we can move past those the expectations we have for ourselves and the expectations other people have for us, right? And how we can move past those expectations is by living in the moment and not worrying too much about what your actions say about who you are. It's not about who you are, it's about what you do, right? Like, that's really what book 4 I think is trying to say. I mean, you all have watched my video. I don't have to repeat myself, but yeah. So I feel like I was going through a lot of that struggle at the time because, like, especially because that video was so hard to do. I was like putting so much pressure on myself to like get this video done because, like, in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like this Infinity Train content creator. Like, that's how I saw myself, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have like this analysis, and I have to like have this blah 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 blah. And I realized that I was doing exactly what Min and Ryan were doing in the book. I was putting all these expectations on myself based off of what I thought I was like supposed to be, when in reality I just had to make videos. I just had to stream. I just had to um, you know, do my own thing, and it didn't really matter what that made me. It just mattered what I was doing at the end of the day, you know. So I feel like that's important. That was an important lesson I learned while working on that video, and that's the important lesson I learned of book 4. You know, live in the moment, live in the present, and I feel like it was so well done with Min representing the past and Ryan representing the future, and how they both needed each other to come together to live in the moment. Like, it's so well done. It's so really brilliantly well done, and I feel like people who didn't like it just kind of took it for granted. I feel like in general, anything that's light and personal has such a disadvantage. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's totally true for Steven Universe. Absolutely, Tune. I totally feel like that too. Like the people who dunk on like the Townie episodes. Like, some of the Townie episodes are some of my favorite episodes of Steven Universe. Like the one where Steven helps, oh gosh, I'm forgetting her name. I think it's Kiki, but when he helps her with like the pizza dreams, like, that's an incredible episode. Like, it's so good. And I feel like the people who don't like those episodes, like, just, they're wrong. Their opinions are wrong. People most definitely put a lot of weight on sad things being better. Yeah, yeah. I think like sad things have their time and place. Like, it really all just depends on what kind of story you want to tell. Like, sometimes like sad stuff can feel really cheap and feel like, oh, you're just having this tragic thing happen because like you feel like that's an easy way to get some emotion in there. It's like, like, it's all about context, and it all really matters on like what kind of story you're trying to tell, right? Like, the tragedy made book 3 a better book, but if book 4 had to tried to do that kind of weighty emotions, it might not have worked for the story that it was trying to tell. So, like, that's the thing, right? Like, sad stories have their place, and like optimistic stories have their place, and I feel like we can learn a lot from Infinity Train of how it uses like those different styles to tell different stories, while also like all being on the Infinity Train. Like, that's just like one of the brilliant things about like that anthology style of show. Book 4 is driven by more character dynamic than the other seasons. I mean, I would say pretty much every season is very character dynamic driven, um, and it really has to be, especially with how little time there is in every season. But I would say for me personally, book 4, the characters I related to the most. I would say like Min and Ryan and like Jesse and Lake from book 2 are like the characters I relate the most to. But yeah, Min and Ryan meant a lot to me. Um, Grown to appreciate book 4 more over time. Yeah, yeah, that's I think fair. I definitely I was definitely, actually, the first time I watched book 4, I didn't really like it because the pacing issues for me were like really took me out of it, and like books one two books one two books 1, 2, and 3 all have like such perfect pacing, and so like book 4 was like the one book that didn't really have great pacing, and so I was like, ah, damn it, I really didn't like book 4. But yeah, definitely over time I feel like the fact that it doesn't have perfect pacing is like not as important to me anymore, and like the story it was trying to tell is a lot more important to me. Like I said in the thread I made on Twitter, it's getting to the top of a roller coaster and staying up there. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's also very true. Um, the cinematography of the first episode, yes, yeah. Book for the season opener, the twin tapes, right? Isn't that? I can't believe I'm forgetting. I'm such a fake fan. But yeah, that first episode is like my favorite episode in the entire series. Like it's the cinematography, exactly as you said, is so good. And yeah, the Ryan and Min split is just incredible. Very, very true. Yeah, that's true. That's true too. Tune and Summer Camp Island is one of the shows that I really wanted to watch at one point. So hopefully I can find it, somewhere else since it's apparently not on HBO Max anymore. But hopefully I'll be able to find it somewhere. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's right, Morgan. I did see that Owen Dennis has a new trailer for I guess a YouTube show that he's doing, which is really cool. I'm glad that he's like doing his own thing and just like deciding to go on YouTube. But yeah, it's a very interesting trailer. Um, it definitely meshes with his humor, I think, like his style. The animation as well, I can like kind of see some. Oh my gosh, my face is like really dark. Maybe I should turn on another light. Sorry, I can't put in the effort to turn on this light, so I'm sorry that I'm just in the dark here. But yeah, I think like there's some Infinity Train ish elements in the animation and in the style as well of his weird new show. I forget what it's called right now. Maybe it's like Owen and is it like just Owen and Toby or something like that? Because I think him and Toby Jones are working on it together, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, Summer Camp Island is a show that I wanted to watch for sure, for sure. But yeah, I really like a lot of the artists on that worked on Infinity Train. Just like I really just like their art just on their own too. Like I follow a handful of the artists on Twitter, and I try to keep up with them and like their projects and stuff. Just because like Infinity Train meant so much to me, and um, that was because of the artists and the people who worked on the show, and not the networks behind the closed doors. But so I try to support the artists pretty much as I can. Um, because yeah, they're the ones who made the show special and what it is. Hey Toby, hey Owen. Yes, that's what it's called. And yeah, Maddie Carapel is also on there. So yeah, a lot of the Infinity Train, at least like producers, with Owen and Maddie on there. So yeah, maybe were just like, hey, we've had such shit luck with the networks lately. Let's try just doing our own thing on YouTube. We can't get canceled there. Although I have been seeing that like YouTube has been dealing with a lot of issues lately too, with like getting with creators like being unfairly demonetized and things like that. So YouTube really got to get its shit together. There's always some issue with YouTube, whether it's like demonetizing people or like age restricting people or Owen has mentioned he's working on multiple projects with a big company, huh? Interesting, interesting. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. I'm excited for whatever he does next, honestly. Like I really think has a very unique style in terms of like vision and direction. And I think like that's part of what made Infinity Train so special. But like sometimes on Twitter I'll like see some of the artwork that he likes like pop up on my timeline, and he likes some pretty weird shit, let me tell you. If you ever want to see some weird stuff, go through Owen Dennis's Twitter likes, because not to say like weird in a bad way, like some of it is like very weird in a cool way, but it's just very odd. It's like very, very, very specific, strange aesthetic, and I feel like it's very unique, and I feel like we need more of that. We need more of that weird energy in the world. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that he's doing well, because he deserves to have his work shown. I think I just dropped a pin. Did I? Where did it go? Did you guys see one? Did I drop one? Oh, ow. Whoops. Sorry. Yes, I dropped the Alan Dracula one. There it is. Hey, hey, hey. Excuse you. Hi. Hello. Can I help you? Do you mind? Hello? Please. Not right now. Honey. Honey. She just stopped by to say hi. Okay, I got this side all done. Now I'm gonna do the other side. I think once I do the other side, I'm gonna call it a stream. Because I've been streaming now for over an hour. And then maybe I'll do the second one in a different stream, but maybe I'll just do it on my own. I know, she just comes in for pets and then walks right off. Oh, this one needs a couple backs too. That's just Honey stopping by to wreak havoc. Let's see, do I have some more extra backs? Yeah, I guess that'll work for now. Oh, nice. That's awesome, Robin. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I've never really done a stream like this before. This is a very impromptu, like, I mean, that's a lie. I have done kind of similar streams like this before. Like, I've done different, like, plant streams and, like, different shit like that before. But, yeah, this was just, like, random. And I was just like, huh, let's just give it a try. And I'm sorry that, like, I didn't really set up properly beforehand and that you're not even really seeing my face properly and you're just seeing like a dark shadowy silhouette of me, but the book for analysis video is a free therapy session. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. I'm really glad people like that video. That's seriously one of my favorite videos that I've done. I'm really happy with that one. And the Wolfwalkers one too. Y'all, if you haven't watched the Wolfwalkers video, I worked so hard on that video, and it finally did get up to 1,000 views, which I'm really happy about, actually. So thank you, everyone who did watch it. That really means a lot to me. But yeah, if you haven't watched that video, please do. I worked really, really hard on that one. And if you haven't watched Wolfwalkers yet, watch Wolfwalkers. It's awesome. You know, everyone's out there talking about supporting indie animation and trying to, you know, do right by artists, especially the artists that are not having to rely on big corporations. And yeah, you're talking to the shadow version of me. That's exactly right. But yeah, the Wolfwalkers is made by Cartoon Saloon, and Cartoon Saloon is an independent Irish studio that's based in Ireland, and they were offered to be bought by Disney. Disney offered to buy Cartoon Saloon once upon a time, like I think maybe after their first movie came out, or maybe the second. But because Secret of Kells, or Book of Kells rather, not Secret of Kells, Book of Kells was their first film that they did, and that was like, I think, like a student film. Like they were still very early into their careers when they made that film. Wolfwalkers is one of your favorite films, Robin? That's awesome. Yeah, it's one of my favorites too. It's so 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 good. And really gay. It's honestly so gay. Yeah, I definitely have so many ideas for the future, Magical, for more videos. So like I said, I'm working on a dead end video right now, and that one is going to be a little bit of a mixed video. Like, it's going to be part analysis, part review, just because I kind of have some criticisms of the video and of the show, I should say. And I want to be perfectly clear that, like, I also understand that a lot of the people that worked on Dead End are, like, first-time showrunners or, like, first-time people who are not necessarily, like, veterans in the industry. So I don't want to knock it for some of, like, those faults, but at least, like, in my eyes, as someone who is a trans writer and an animation enthusiast, especially in Western animation, I feel like the way that we frame trans narratives is really important to look at critically. And so there's some things in the depiction of this trans character that, like, I feel, not that they did badly, but I think could have done a little bit better or could have done a little bit differently to make it just sit a little better with me, I guess. So yeah, I have some critiques of the show that I would love to delve into. So that one might be a little bit of a different video too. Yeah, that's the thing, Ari. It had some flaws. That's all I'll really say. Like, and again, a lot of the people that worked on the show were newbies. And so I don't want to sound like I'm dunking on the show, because that's the last thing I want to do. I know how hard it is to put an animated, I mean, that's the thing, right? I actually don't know how hard it is to put an animated show together, but I know it's ridiculously hard. So I never want to seem like I'm knocking the show when I critique something. But here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. I can sum up my criticisms in 6 words. And those 6 words are, it was made for cis people. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But as a trans person, there are not that many shows that are made for trans people. In fact, I would say there are no shows out there that are made for specifically trans people in mind. And Dead End was a show made mostly, I would say, by cis people for cis people. And that's not a bad thing, but it's not for me, you know, because I'm not a cis people. So you know, I don't want to knock the show too much, but yeah, it's very much got the audience of cis people in mind, and that's kind of my biggest issue with it. Oh, you actually saw the pilot back in 2014? That's interesting. I actually never heard of it until it became a Netflix show. So even when people were like, oh, it's a webcomic or something, I was like, oh, that's interesting. I never knew that. Dead End probably would have been part of the big Netflix purge. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, so I'm at least glad that it came out. That's very true too. I'm glad that we are at least here to see it. But yeah, there are definitely some things that I think could be done a little better. Yeah, I think Toon and I have talked about the show a lot before, so like he's already heard a lot of my thoughts uh on my issues specifically with the show. But yeah, I think what Toon said is kind of more my feelings about it too. Like the focus of the narrative and the way they framed some of the conflicts was my main issue with the show. And that's what I want to talk about in this like video that I end up doing, because yeah, I feel like there's a lot that I have to say about. And I never want to, again, like I never want to seem like I'm dunking on the work of artists and creators, especially ones that have good intentions. But I do think like it's important to scrutinize these things. And I also think that like it's it should be fair. It should be fair to have good faith criticisms of this show, right? Like, I I I was actually conflicted on whether I wanted to critique the show or not, because like the show actually has been getting a lot of negative attention, right, from like right-wing people and like transphobes and like awful people who want to like shit on the show for like bad faith reasons. But I don't want to let that stop me from making my own opinions a part of the discussion, because I feel like, yeah, I don't want to be like essentially terrorized into thinking I can't talk about my own problems with the show. Are some people gonna use it as like ammunition to be shitty? Maybe, but I can't control that, you know? I can only say my piece. So yeah, that video will hopefully be coming in the next like month or so. That's kind of my goal with that one right now. And then I really want to make some Buffy the Vampire Slayer videos. I have an idea for kind of like an ongoing long-term Buffy related thing, but it would be a lot of work and a lot of writing, but I think it could be a lot of fun. And it's one of those ideas. So like, this is like how it was for me with Lake is Trans too. It's one of those ideas where, if someone else were making it, I would be totally into it and I would watch it. So part of me thinks that that means that other people might be into it too. So once I actually start working on that, I'll talk a little bit more about what that project is. But I think that it could be fun and that people will like it. And if you have not watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer yet, I guess, you know, I do want to make a video that's kind of like just talking about like what I love about the show and like why I think it's worth watching, even though it's a 25-year-old show. I will say that there's a lot in the show that has not aged well. And the main creator of the show is a piece of shit. I'm just going to be honest. He's a bad person and like a really awful showrunner. And honestly, I don't think he's that good of a writer either. Like, I think his things that were his tools that were initially strengths of his ended up being a little overplayed. If you know who the creator of Buffy is, then you know exactly who I'm talking about, and you can get an idea for why his style of writing is overplayed at this point, and people are a little sick of it. He also directed and did the first Avengers movie, if that also gives you any clue. But he did Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and there's a lot of it in the show that has not aged well. So I will warn you of that. So, you know, go in with a mind that it came out in the 90s and early 2000s, and it's very, very of its time. But at the same time, there's a lot in there that I think is quite timeless as well, and quite compelling and quite moving and quite beautiful. And it's one of my favorite shows of all time, and I'm definitely going to make a video about why I think you should watch it. But if you feel compelled to do so before I make the video, I would recommend watching it as well. Right? It is quite ironic that the creator of one of my favorite shows is an awful person. But I also, the thing with Buffy too is that he wasn't the only person that made the show, right? Like, there's so many people with a TV show, like there's so many people that work on it. There's the actors, there's the writers, there's the directors, there's all the crew members that work on the show. So like, you know, I'm not gonna let one or two or a few shitty people quite a few shitty people, but I'm not gonna let a handful of shitty people ruin something I love that was made by a lot of great people as well, you know? Yeah, Buffy fans definitely are not, if you find a Buffy fan out there that likes the creator, then that's a red flag. But Buffy fans on their own are great. And yeah, Miraculous, I think, is in a very similar situation. Okay, anyway, I got all my pins on my shirt. I feel like that's good for now. I still have a bunch more pins here, but I'm going to put them on the other shirt. Maybe one day I'll do another stream where we just kind of hang out and chat like this again, but maybe I'll just do it on my own too. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate I was seriously thinking 0 people were going to come. Like, I genuinely didn't expect anyone to stop by. So it really means a lot to me that you all took the time out of your evenings to hang out with me for a bit. Maybe I'll do a stream next week. I know the week after that I am not going to be available. Like, I'm going to actually be traveling that weekend. But maybe next week we'll do another stream and just sort of slowly get back into the regular schedule until maybe October we'll pick it back up again. Like, for real. Like, real streams where you guys can actually see my face instead of me being a shadowy, shrouded, dark figure in the light. Yeah, really, really appreciate it too. And thank you so much. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I can't decide if I should like leave the video of this up or not. Maybe I'll leave it up for like a few days and then I'll take it down later. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Maybe in the near future there'll be a video or some streams where you'll actually see this up on the wall in the background instead of just down here. Maybe let's try. Nope, I'm upside down if I do that. Wait, let me try. So I want you guys to at least see my face for a second. Where's my video? Boop. There we go. Now I'm right side up. And you can see me a little bit better. But yeah, thank you guys again. I appreciate it so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And a wonderful rest of your evening. And a wonderful rest of your week. And hopefully I'll see you next time. I don't know when that will be exactly, but I'll let you guys know on Twitter and in the Discord. And thank you again for stopping by. Really, really, really appreciate you. And stay safe and take care, everyone. Bye-bye.